Get started here. I just wanted to, like a lot of people in the Atlanta area, in the football community, were saddened to hear about Robbie Roper, the Roswell quarterback in the community, and his family. I just want to send my condolences. And then on another note, it was really nice to get a win at home here. I appreciate our fans. Our fans have been great all year, especially a lot of our fans have traveled Carolina, Jacksonville, and it was good to reward them with a home win. Having said that, our D-Led.
Yeah, Coach, could you discuss the play of Foye Olukan at the end to preserve the victory for you all today?
Yeah, that's what D-Led, that's kind of been our ethos, find a way to win. I believe, fact check me here, Bassie, that puts us, 7-2 in one possession games? 7-2 in one possession games. So that's what we're trying to create, a culture of winning, playing as a team, playing smart situational football. Obviously, there at the end, they were going to cover 0, so we got the check we wanted. Obviously, the ball came out, but I got all the faith in the world in Russ and their team. If you've seen the mindset, there was no long faces. My defense went back out there, grinded it out. We preached situational football, made them earn it, and Foye came up with a big play there.
And throughout the course of the game, the Ryan to Fitz combination seems
Sure.
to carry offense.
Yeah, you got to give Detroit credit here. They've been playing good football late. They were going to shorten this game down. We knew possessions were going to be limited, so when we stumbled to start the game, it was going to be their kind of game. They were going to basically play 4-minute offense. I believe they had the ball for 38 minutes, so we needed to be really efficient. Possessions were limited, when we stumbled, but that's what you have to do. You have to adjust. He led. Saw a couple things. We adjusted. Got a couple looks second half, able to push the ball down the field, and it was a good job by Matt and Kyle and the entire team.
And just Matt's play today, that was his 366 touchdown pass, tying with Eli Manning.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys like Matt Ryan. He's the joy to coach. He's tough, low maintenance for a guy of his caliber. I can't say enough good things about Matt.
Thanks.
Michael. Yeah, you mentioned cover 0 at the end. How much of that was just kind of knowing what Aaron Glenn?
No, it's not knowing. You're just playing situational football. That's not a shot at anybody, Michael. That's not me saying, how smart we are. As it's a pretty standard issue. You're in 4-minute. We're that situation. They got one timeout. They're going to want to get the ball to come out. A couple different looks there. They had sacked us on a 0 look on an early third down, on 3rd and long. So they weren't disguising it. That's a pretty standard issue in the National Football League. So we got the look, and they executed better than we did at the end of the play.
And with Cordarrelle, have teams kind of started to maybe figure him out a little bit in terms of what you guys are doing?
No, I know that's a simmering hot take. Cordarrelle's a big part of the offense. He scored a touchdown again today, Michael. Again, they can't. You're able to play the matchup game. All right, if you want to give you want to roll over here to Kyle, to CP, great. That's why OZ had a couple big completions. Russ, that's what we are. A team is trying to improve and get better. So sorry to ruin the hot take.
No, you're not ruining the hot take.
Okay.
Well, because he is an offensive player.
There's a lot of things that evolve. He's a huge part of our offense. Like I said, got another touchdown today. I believe that's his 11th for the season.
Your fourth quarter timeout, simply a matter of giving your guys a breather, or did you see something
No.
there that you wanted to?
I'm not going to get into our strategy there, but there's a lot of things that play there, Josh. When you go in there and, all right, do you play the game where you want to get the ball back, you give yourself a chance, or are you going to put it all in the last play? They had to have a touchdown to win. Fully aware of that. There's several factors there, and I'm not going to get into specifics. There's a lot of things there are a lot of variables that can come up where you feel the need to do that or save time, or vice versa. When they bang their last time out, do you want to put pressure on them to get the call in, not bail them out? There's a lot of things that got to be made, but these are all talked about beforehand while we continually look at situation. Never perfect, but you got to be aware and be involved in every part of that game.
I want to go back to what you were talking about after Russ fumbles the ball, and you said that you felt confident in sending that defense out there.
Sure.
Can you kind of walk me through that feeling of having that situational moment?
Well, I think that shows growth from where we've come from early in the season. Like I said, the defense was on the field for 38 minutes, and credit to Detroit. We understood what kind of game it was going to be, close football games. They won 2 of the last 3 coming in here. And so, they're going to run the ball on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Clock's moving. So the defense has been out there. It says a lot about them. I've been a part of teams. Defense, they're sitting there dragging. The offense has a chance to go in the game. Again, it didn't happen that way. But I love the energy they came back out on the field with.
Hey, Coach, can you
Hey.
talk about your red zone play today? A lot better on offense, scoring twice in the red zone.
We try to score every week. A lot I keep saying this, and maybe people roll their eyes. It's a strategy game. You go in there. There's a lot of variables with 22 players out in there. One thing can throw you off. You may sit there and say, "Hey, we got guys wide open." Well, great. Well, their D lineman made a play, or whatever happens, or they covered it. This and that. The defense does have a say. I thought we were better in situational football. That certainly helped us. Red zone defense, red zone offense, and usually when you win, that usually goes your way.
What do you feel like Fitz has been doing the last 3-4 weeks maybe that's kind of allowed for more production?
It's a long season for a rookie. Like I said, he's just scratching the surface. He made the Pro Bowl. He broke franchise record in most yards in a season by a tight end, and he's just getting started, Michael. It's a rookie. It's a long, long year of their life. No, I know. I appreciate the question. It's a good question, but sometimes the obvious answer, there's lulls in the season, and he's had the right mindset. That's why he's fun to coach. And like I said, I told him the other day when he made the Pro Bowl, he's just scratching the surface. If he can continue to improve, we'll see where this thing goes.
Have you felt teams have, I don't want to say, or let me rephrase it, has he adjusted to what teams are doing to him a little better?
Just depends. Every game's a different story. Like what their coverage plan is, what their third down plan is. That's a fun part of coaching. Moving around and then make adjustments, communicate. It's pretty much standard operating procedure in the National Football League. Credit to him. It's just a long year for those rookies. I mean, Jalen Mayfield's taken damn near every snap as a rookie, and it's just a long journey. And I'm proud of those guys. Here we are, going into Week 17, and with another big game coming up Sunday up in Buffalo.
Coach, we want to follow up with another rookie, Richie Grant, like he's out there making a few plays out there.
Mhm.
Can you talk about his development?
Sure.
Points?
Yeah, like this whole rookie class. I mean, Ade, they've all contributed. They've all. It's a long journey, and we had 2 veteran safeties, and we understood that going into this thing. It's why we played these guys again. Strategy going into the preseason. Why we needed to play all these guys that never played a snap in the NFL, because you're going to get in the season, and this is what happens. And that's where Richie is. He made a big impact early in the season on special teams. Now he's starting to make an impact on defense. His journey's just beginning too. We've all seen it. The rookies that come out, and you never hear from them again after year 1. We want our guys to improve and get better year over year, the entire team. And obviously things come up, and that'll be the goal every season.
From a protection standpoint, did you make any changes after the first series, or just
Well,
better?
both, but I mean the one, I guess they got credited one that rule there. If you're an offensive coach with a no-yard gain when he runs out, I guess they credit to him. I'd love to know where the evolution of that one came from, but I'm sure there's some defensive guys that pushed that through. D-Led maybe can tell me that one. So that guy, they made a play one-on-one. The next one came on all that pressure, and we didn't get the ball out. So that's kind of what happened.
Short yardage more successful today, anything behind that other than situation?
If you go back, Josh, look at the games we played well. We played well situationally, short yardage red zone. Again, I know another scorching hot take when you get recency bias. When you get down there like we stalled out last weekend, sure, you clump numbers together. Clump them together today, pretty damn good. But that's usually the story when you win or you lose. Can you like not to have turnovers? Obviously, we had the one late. Can you win up front? Can you handle situational football? That's where most of these games come down to in the National Football League.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
series, man, gave up 3 sacks, and you guys were kind of able to don't turn things down. Like, what went into the adjustments that y'all made, or did y'all just say, hey, you got to do better?
We definitely needed to do better, but you got to keep your head down and just keep grinding and, not ride the waves of a game. And it's not the way you want to start a game, and we know we need to be better on things, but in the moment, you can't get down on yourself. You got to just communicate with each other, respond, and I thought we did a good job about that, communicating the rest of the way out.
Teams been, do you feel like when Cordarrelle's in the backfield, teams have been focusing on that a little bit more than maybe it was at the beginning of the year?
I'm not sure about that. I just know Cordarrelle's a explosive player. He's a great teammate, and all those guys really, we love blocking for him and just trying to give them opportunities to make plays, and that's your job really as an offensive lineman, is just make sure everybody's assignment sound and those guys can go out there and be as explosive as they are.
What were your emotions, after Russ fumbles the ball and this defense has to come out in the situation that it does? I mean, what was kind of going through your head? I know Arthur was kind of talking about how, we have the confidence that they'll be able to do it. Kind of what were you thinking at that time?
It's just, as an offense, you go in those four-minute situations and you want to put the game away. And that's something that, we're responsible for as an offense. But, things happen, adversity strikes, and it's how you're going to overcome it as a team. And 100% confidence in the defense that those guys are going to go out there and make the play, and they did. And just you're grateful for them and you have full confidence in them. But as an offensive guy, you don't want to put those guys in that situation. But, again, when adversity strikes, those guys rose to the occasion.
Arthur was kind of talking also about kind of the ethos of this team and it being essentially playing well situationally and really closing out games. And I think y'all are 7-2 in one possession games. I mean, what does that kind of say about the culture of this team in 2021?
I just think there's a standard of which, and situational football is something that we practice every single day and we try and be great at and try to win. And it's not always perfect, but I think there's a confidence in each other and a belief in this team that anytime we go out there, we can win. And, the expectation is that we're going to win and nothing else is good enough. And just with that mindset, there's great chemistry within our team as well. There's guys pushing for each other. Happy for each other when a guy makes a play. They're celebrating everywhere, picking guys up, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
Chris, first of all, condolences, and I understand if you don't want to talk about what the last 2 weeks been like.
It's been crazy, but I'm very grateful to play for an organization and for Mr. Blank and Coach Smith and Coach Quinn when my mom was diagnosed to be able to send me home. And I was able to be with her the last couple weeks, and I was there Tuesday when she passed with my whole family, and just very, very grateful to be a part of an organization where I was able to go home and have those moments with her, and just really, really appreciative, and my whole family is, to this organization and all the outreach that we've received from the people of Atlanta and just throughout. We're just really, really grateful.
I'm sorry for your loss. What do you think led to the better red zone offense today? Scored twice in the red zone.
I just think we had a mentality that we knew it wasn't good enough last week, and we needed to go out there and we needed to get it done. And we take pride in what we do as an offense and as an offensive line, and realizing that short yardage, we need to get it done. Goal line, we need to get it done. And I just think we did a good job as a team scoring in those opportunities. I mean, we can watch the film. There's always things to correct, but I think on the whole, we did a really good job just understanding the situation. And, part of it is you're on a long drive. You're a 10-play or 6-play or whatever it is, realizing, okay, it's just not another play. This is a short yardage situation. This is a goal line situation. We need to go. We need to get this. And there's awareness to that, and just we keep grinding away at it.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
part about the ethos of this team, being a team that plays well situationally, closes out games. I think y'all are 7-2 in one possession games up until this point. What does that kind of say about the culture of which this team has in 2021?
It's a gritty group for sure. You know, it hasn't been perfect by any stretch of the imagination throughout the year, but we've done a good job when we've had opportunities to win games where we've been in those one-score games. We've done a very good job, and you know, we made a mistake offensively there at the end, but our defense goes right out onto the field, doesn't blink, and steps up and makes a pick when they need to. Great play by Foye, but you know, that's what you got to do to keep yourself in the mix. You know, when you're in late game situations, you got to find a way to get the job done. And you know, in those one-score games, we've done a pretty good job throughout the year.
I think, you know, there's none of them, so sometimes offense is going to have their day. Today it was the defense. What was kind of going through your mind as Detroit gets the ball back with, I don't even know, a couple minutes left to go?
Yeah, I think, you know, as a player, you'd always rather be on the field. I'd always, you know, rather have, you know, the ball in my hands and trying to determine the outcome that way. But, you know, being part of a team, you know, that's not how it is sometimes. You got to trust other players to go out there and make the plays. And I thought our defense did a great job there at the end, containing the run and then stepping up and creating a pocket push, getting the ball out early, and Foye being in the right spot. So you got to trust all three phases. And at different times throughout the year, all three phases have stepped up for us.
Matt, not to say that you're older, when you came up, you had a lot of games where you won at the end with drives. And the last couple of years, you've had a lot of games where the other team won in game drives. And now you're 7-2 one-score games again. Is that just the NFL?
Yeah, I think so. It's you know, the balance, the competitive balance is strong, and you know, you said it early in my career. We had a lot of success finding ways to win games, you know, late, and you know, for whatever reason, the last couple of years, you know, we weren't able to do that. But I am proud of this team, you know, this year for finding ways, you know, in those situations to make plays we need to win. And you know, hopefully it's flowing back that way. You know, the end of my career can be much like the beginning.
Yeah, Matt, and what did you all put together today to get the offense going? You and Kyle, that connection seemed to be pretty strong after they shut down the run game a little bit.
I thought Kyle played extremely well, and he's been trending, you know, that way all year for us, continuing week in and week out, getting better. And playing with great effort. And I thought he made, you know, an unbelievable catch on the sideline on the go ball today. You know, only a handful of wide receivers in the league can make those kind of plays, and we're fortunate to have a guy at a tight end spot that can go do that. And so it was a special play. But, you know, really some of the intermediate stuff, moving the chains for us, you know, those are huge. You know, where you're getting 8 or 9 yards on first or second down and getting into 3rd and 1s and, you know, very short yardage situations. I see, you know, that, you know, continuing to expand for him, you know, throughout his career. But I'm certainly, you know, proud of him. It's not an easy year. That rookie year is not an easy year. And he's continued to push and get better and has never really hit a wall. He's just continued to excel. And I'm excited about what he can bring, you know, to this team in the future, but certainly, you know, what he's doing for us right now.
And what did you say to Russ after you know, the tough play there at the end?
Well, you know, I just tell him in the locker room that, you know, you have his back and the ball's coming back to him. I also told him that, you know, I've been in that spot, you know, where it's a pick or something at the end of the game where you're driving and it's lonely. You know, there's no doubt about it. But, you know, let him know he's not alone. You know, we've all got your back, and the next time we have that opportunity, the ball's coming his way. And I certainly believe he's going to make the plays for us in future situations.
How did your protection kind of change as the game went on? I mean, I know it started out, I think, first 5 dropbacks, had 3 sacks, but then you kept pretty clean the rest of the game.
Yeah, I thought our guys just battled. They settled into the game. We did a good job of you know, balancing up, getting the ball out quick, but also, you know, firming up protection when we had chances to push it down the field. I just think sometimes games shake out like that. There's an early push, and our guys, just didn't blink. They just continued to work at it, make the adjustments on the sideline, and I thought they played tough.
Man, how was it, after the Russell Gage, fumble and everything, to be able to see the guy, the short starter moving the football, and then you see Fourier come up with that pick, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's huge when you see your defense make a play to bail you out to get the win, and but that's what good football teams do. That you pick up the other side of the ball, or special teams finds a way to make a play when you need it. In this league, you need all three phases to be successful, and I thought our defense did a great job stepping up there at the end and icing the game.
You think that 7-2 record in with those one-score games is kind of indicative of what you just talked about?
I think so. I think, Art talks all the time about trying to be, a very good situational football team. And, I think for the most part we've done that. We've made mistakes at certain spots. But again, one of the three phases have found a way to kind of make up for that. And, again, I go back to it. I really do think, when you have all three phases that you're confident in to go make a play to end the game, that gives you a lot of belief, and our locker room should have a lot of belief.
Anything else? Kyle was just talking, forgive me if you addressed this, Kyle was just talking about practice weeks and how these sort of reps with you, all this comes from what happens during the week. You might send him on however many go balls during the week based on the game plan or just based on how you feel. How many times do you think y'all rep that ball?
It's hard to put a number. He probably gets annoyed with me sometimes because he's got to do the bulk of the running. I'm just kind of throwing it up there. But I do hammer home with those guys. I believe the way you get better is you work at it and you do it over and over and over and over. And then, you just fall into rhythm during a game. You just do the same things that we've practiced, for 8 months or however long it's been now from when he was drafted. And I think, for him, you're starting to see both of us being on the same page and really having a feel for what the other is going to do. And, again, it's hard to put a number on those things, but there's been quite a few.
Did you realize right away he was going to be a guy who would do that work? I mean, as a rookie, you never know until you see a guy, I guess, on the practice field.
Yeah, early on, I mean, he had a great work ethic, was willing to go out there and put in the work. I always think that there comes a time in the season where it gets tough. And I've been very impressed with him for pushing through that and, continuing to go out there and put the time in, even when it's uncomfortable, because, my belief is that, it pays off. And, I appreciate that from him.
You've played with guys who've chased records before, whether it's been Julio or Tony or Ron. Are you cognizant of that when a guy is getting close to a mark?
Yeah, you get asked questions about it, which, to start to, trigger your mind on what could happen. I have to say all three of those guys never brought any of those things up. And, that speaks to the kind of teammates they were and what they were about. They were all about winning. And, I do find that, you answer questions about it so you kind of understand where things are going. And you always want to get it for them, personally. But I've been really fortunate to be around guys that, it didn't come up. It really didn't come up in conversation. And they were all great teammates.
He's kind of the same way, or is he brought it up?
No, he hasn't said anything, man. He's just out there, just playing. And, he again falls into that category, of some of those really good players that I've played with that, are great teammates. And they put in the work. They work really hard. They're not selfish. I know everybody wants to play great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But they truly are, team first players. And, that's fun to have those kind of guys in your locker room.
I know I asked you on Wednesday about kind of Kyle's growth a little bit, but have you noticed in games either teams playing him a little bit differently the last month, or him maybe figuring out how teams are playing him better?
I think it's always unique because you go into it and each team has their scheme, of what they do. And so every week's, always a little bit different of how people are going to play you or try and take certain things away. We talk about that during the week. Hey, here's some of the things I might do within the scheme that they have. And I think he's gotten a lot better through the year of understanding during the week of preparation how certain things can shake out. And I think that's a growth, a step of growth that he's made. And, today and in the last couple of weeks, I think he's playing, really high-level football.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
So Kyle's been able to take advantage of maybe a smart to reach, potential to reach. I'm happy for him that at the ball rather, or, make plays on the ball when it's time to be made. In a kind of ugly game, you got to find a way to be victorious if that's what you're meaning. Yeah.
Did you know that this might be that type of game going in, knowing how they like to play offense?
Yeah, I mean they were 2-3 in their last three, right? They're kind of riding something, so they found out that running the ball was going to work for them, making it ugly up front, time of possession. So we kind of scouted them up on that and knew that they was going to try to attack us on that after seeing how we played in San Francisco. So we kind of had a, talk between ourselves, saying we got to be physical and stop the run and keep the ball in front of us.
Who was the person who led that talk? Was that you? Was that?
Yeah, leaders of defense. Yeah, I'll keep it at that.
What'd you say?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I mean, it was very clear that we didn't play how we were supposed to play. Dean kind of came at us on that, and just basically do your job, and that was part of our team keys. Let's be physical out there.
Going back to D-Leg's question, Arthur was kind of talking about how in that final drive, the defense could have come out flat. Y'all could have come out on your heels because y'all had essentially played for 38 minutes, and you just came off that 10-minute drive. It was a long time that y'all are out there. I mean, what does it kind of say about this group to come with the energy that they did in that final drive?
Yeah, as I said, we was already expecting to go back out there. So when the fumble happened, I was really standing up. I'm like, oh, he might have broken on the screen. Then I saw the ball on the ground. I was like, here we go. Let's go out on the field. And I called them up and said, if they don't get a touchdown, we win the game. So I think we played pretty good defense up to that point. I don't really know the stats, but I felt we played good defense. Scheme out the end zone how we had for most of the game, we're going to win.
Arthur was also kind of talking about the ethos of this team and kind of wanting to have this mindset of closing out games, playing well situationally. And y'all are 7-2 in
Right.
possession games. I mean, what does that stat kind of mean to this group?
It's crazy because, last year we were not 7-2 in these type of games. This year put a definite emphasis on situational football, how to handle situations and stuff. And you really look at a lot of NFL games, they come down to one possession. So if you know what you're doing down the stretch or even in the second quarter, going into half, lapping them, that's what good teams or teams that win do. And then they're labeled as good because they know how to win situational football moments. And when you are able to go 7-2 in those type of games, all you have to do for the rest of the year is just, win other games that you're supposed to win. So it's definitely something to look up on, but definitely more work to be done in order to win games.
Copeland was very complimentary of your play, but wanted to make sure Yale didn't get too much credit. I wanted to give you a chance to have a rebuttal if you wanted to.
What was the last part? Because I heard Yale and I'm ready to brag.
So I said Copeland said he wanted to give you, he was very complimentary of your play, but told us not to give Yale too much credit.
Oh, yeah.
Give you a rebuttal time if you wanted to.
Yale taught me, as I said, Yale taught me to get down in that situation after the interception. I'll give him that. But a lot of it is just, going out there playing football. I think Cope is a lot smarter than me. I'll let him have that. That way I can kind of, have him, on his high horse. Then I'll be setting him up, exactly. Yeah.
This might be a very kind of nuanced or maybe a silly question, I don't know, but when do you, as a football player, learn situational football? Is that stuff you learn when you're 7, 8, 10? Or is that stuff that, when does that happen?
So, playing sports is crazy. Every time you level up, high school situations are going to be different in college. There's little rule differences in everything. They're going to implement the shot. I'm a big basketball fan. Let's talk about basketball. They implement the shot clock in college. Now they're kind of doing it in high school a little bit. Now they're implementing the shot clock in 24 seconds. It goes from 30 to 24 seconds in the NBA. And then you realize, at the end of quarters, is really they basically have 2-minute basketball. Let's say you try to get a shot up in order to get extra possession later in the quarter or something like that as the time's winding down. It's just really different nuances as the rules changes. You keep going higher and higher in whatever sport you play. So you have to be able to learn on the fly in the NFL. You learn college things, but they run a lot of zone read and stuff, or how the clock stops in the first down and stuff. The NFL all of a sudden apparently 5 minutes. That's when out of bounds starts working in your favor. Hit them out of bounds. The clock isn't going to stop and stuff. So it's just a lot of little different rules that you have to learn on the fly that you don't really think about in college and in the NFL. Every little thing matters.
Anything else?
How was it getting the first win today at home?
That was cool. It was cool to have your own fans cheering for you and stuff at the end of a game. Definitely an emotional thing to keep riding into next week. Staying positive and trying to get another win.
Awesome. Thanks, Moya.
Yeah. Yep. Of course.